Imagine waking up every morning in a sprawling mansion surrounded by luxury that most people in your country can only dream of. Private chefs preparing feasts while outside your gates, entire families starve in the streets, servants bowing in fear, and a direct bloodline to the supreme leader himself. This isn't a fairy tale of the ultra-rich in some distant land. This is the hidden world of North Korea's elite, the powerful few who live like kings while millions suffer under their iron rule. But what if one day, that power, that wealth, that privilege wasn't enough? What if the screams from the basements and the weight of your crimes became too much to bear? Today, we're diving into two incredible, true-inspired stories of North Korean elites who gave up millions, yes, millions, for one thing: freedom in the United States of America. If you love stories of courage, redemption, and the true cost of tyranny, hit that subscribe button right now, smash the like button if you're ready for this journey, and drop a comment below with the word freedom if you believe every human deserves a chance at a better life. Let's expose the darkness together. Stay with me. This one will shock you to your core. Deep in the heart of Pyongyang, where towering monuments to the Kim dynasty cast long shadows over the starving masses, lived a man named Sun Hun. He wasn't just any official. Sun Hun was the mayor of one of North Korea's largest industrial cities, a position of immense power granted because of his distant familial ties to none other than Kim Jong Un himself. A cousin several times removed, but in the twisted hierarchy of the regime, that connection meant everything. From a young age, Sun Hun was groomed for leadership. He attended exclusive schools reserved for the elite, where portraits of the supreme leader adorned every wall, and loyalty was taught as the highest virtue. By his 30s, he had risen through the ranks, not through merit alone, but through ruthless ambition and unwavering devotion to the party. As mayor, Sun Hun controlled the flow of resources, businesses, and lives in his city. Factories that produced goods for export brought in foreign currency, most of which flowed straight into his pockets and those of his inner circle. While ordinary citizens scraped by on meager rations of corn and cabbage, Sun Hun and his family lived in opulence. Their villa, hidden behind high walls and guarded by loyal soldiers, featured marble floors imported from China, chandeliers that sparkled like stars, and a private wine cellar stocked with bottles worth more than a worker's lifetime salary. Banquets were a regular affair, tables groaning under the weight of sushi flown in discreetly, Wagyu beef, and French champagne. His wife wore designer clothes smuggled from South Korea, and his children attended private lessons in everything from piano to foreign languages, all while the propaganda machine told the people that the Kim family provided everything they needed. But behind the gilded facade, Sun Hun's rule was a nightmare. He was a master of extortion. Businesses that wanted to operate had to pay tributes, cash, goods, even their daughters in some cases, to secure his favor. Those who refused, they disappeared. Sun Hun's network of informants was everywhere. A whispered complaint about the regime, a missed production quota, or simply looking too prosperous, any excuse was enough. He personally oversaw the selection of enemies of the state, signing orders that sent thousands to brutal labor camps in the frozen north. Families torn apart, children left orphaned, all to maintain his grip on power and fill his coffers. The screams from the interrogation centers haunted the nights. Sun Hun would host lavish parties while, in the basements below government buildings, men and women were beaten, starved, and tortured for disloyalty. He justified it all as necessary for the glory of the nation. The weak must serve the strong, he would say to his closest aides over glasses of cognac. His wealth grew exponentially. Secret bank accounts in China, properties abroad under aliases, and connections that allowed him to siphon off aid meant for the starving population. Yet, cracks began to appear in his perfect world. His eldest son started asking questions after overhearing whispers from servants. His wife, once blinded by luxury, began to see the fear in the eyes of those around them. Sun Hun himself started having nightmares, visions of the ghosts of those he had condemned. The regime's paranoia was turning inward. Rumors of purges among even the elite reached his ears. One wrong move, and his own family could end up in the camps he had filled. The decision to defect didn't come overnight. It took months of secret planning. Using his connections and forged documents, Sun Hun arranged for official business trips. He liquidated what assets he could, bribed border guards, and coordinated with underground networks that helped high-value defectors. One fateful night, under the cover of darkness, Sun Hun, his wife, and their 2 children slipped across the border into China. The journey was perilous, hiding in trucks, evading patrols, the constant fear of betrayal. From China, they made their way through Southeast Asia, using every contact and every dollar of their hidden fortune to reach safety. Finally, after months of uncertainty, they arrived in the United States. Asylum was granted due to Sun Hun's high profile and the wealth of intelligence he brought with him. In interviews with American authorities and human rights organizations, he laid bare the horrors. He described the corruption at the highest levels, the starvation policies, the public executions, and the cult of personality that kept the nation in chains. His testimony helped expose how the elite lived like gods while preaching equality. Today, Sun Hun lives a quiet life in a modest American suburb. The millions he left behind? Gone. But in their place, he has something priceless: freedom. His children attend school without fear, his family speaks openly, and he uses his voice to advocate for those still trapped. Sun Hun traded a palace of lies for a simple home of truth. What a powerful story of awakening. From terrorizing mayor to voice for the voiceless. But Sun Hun's tale is just one chapter. Let's move to an even more intimate look inside the dictator's inner circle. The story of 2 brothers born into unimaginable privilege. Now, picture this. 2 young boys growing up in one of the most powerful families tied directly to the ruling dynasty in North Korea. Born into wealth that defied imagination, they were the sons of a high-ranking official, a man so close to the Kim family that their household was practically an extension of the palace. Their father wasn't just wealthy, he was one of the enforcers, a man who ensured the regime's grip never loosened. From birth, the brothers, let's call them Chiho and Minsuk, wanted for nothing. Their childhood home was a compound of luxury villas with heated floors, private cinemas, and gardens manicured by servants. They ate imported delicacies, wore clothes from forbidden foreign brands, and played with toys smuggled from Japan and Europe. While other children in North Korea marched in military drills and memorized hymns to the leader, these boys received the finest education money and power could buy. Tutors taught them history twisted to glorify the Kims, but also whispers of the outside world slipped through. Yet even in paradise, the darkness crept in. Their father's work involved maintaining order. Late at night, the brothers would hear muffled screams echoing from the basement of their own family compound. People who failed to pay exorbitant loyalty taxes, businessmen who resisted extortion, or simply those who dared to dream of something different were brought there. Their father would interrogate them personally. Electric shocks, beatings, psychological torment, all to extract confessions or assets. The boys, hiding behind doors or in vents, witnessed horrors no child should see. Blood on the floors, broken bodies dragged away at dawn. Their mother would simply say, "It's for the good of the country," and serve another extravagant meal. As they grew into teenagers, the contradictions became unbearable. They saw their family's role in the suffering, policies that hoarded food while provinces starved, forced labor that built monuments to ego, and a surveillance state that turned neighbors into spies. Jiho, the elder, began secretly listening to smuggled radios, learning about South Korea, America, and the freedoms there. Minsuk drew sketches of the outside world in hidden notebooks. They hated what their family represented but loved their parents, trapped in a web of loyalty and fear. The turning point came when they turned 18. The brothers begged their father for a chance to study abroad, a rare privilege even for elites, requiring special permits from the very top. Their father, perhaps sensing their growing discontent, or hoping foreign exposure would strengthen their loyalty, pulled strings. Passports and exit visas were secured, under the guise of diplomatic education. The family celebrated with a grand feast, toasting to the future glory of the regime. But the brothers had other plans. Once outside North Korea, in a third country, they made contact with defectors networks and American officials. They cut all ties, revealing everything: the inner workings of the elite, the torture methods, the hidden bank accounts, and the fear that permeated even the highest levels. Their testimony was gold for intelligence agencies. In exchange for their safety and information, the United States offered them a new life. Relocated to America, the brothers started over, They enrolled in universities, studying political science and human rights, determined to use their knowledge to fight the regime that raised them. They live simply now, in dorms or small apartments, working part-time jobs like any other student. They rarely speak of their relatives, referring to them only as the dictators in private conversations. The nightmares still come, but so does the hope. They've built new lives, found friends who value freedom, and dedicate their studies to exposing the truth. Jiho and Minsuk gave up palaces, servants, and millions in hidden wealth for textbooks, part-time jobs, and the ability to speak without fear. Their story shows that even those born at the top can choose a different path when their conscience awakens. Two extraordinary stories of sacrifice and courage. Sun Hun, the mayor who terrorized his city, and the two brothers raised in the shadow of dictatorship. Both walked away from millions and power for the light of freedom in America. These tales remind us of the human cost of tyranny and the universal desire for liberty. In a world where some still suffer in darkness, their voices shine as beacons of hope. If these stories moved you, please like this video, leave a comment sharing which part shocked you the most or what you'd like to see next, and subscribe for more real-life inspired tales of escape, resilience, and truth from around the world. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for watching. Stay free, stay curious, and until next time, goodbye, friends. Papa.